academic paper research writing. Academic paper research writing. So in that how we are going to deal on the process on doing a research, how we can write a research paper or how we can write the research project. The final trimester we are going to learn on the research project. Meantime, we have included in our syllabus or curriculum the two different parts, academic research paper writing 1 and this semester academic paper research writing 2. Right? Both put together we are going to see about the steps on research process. Steps on research process we are going to discuss. Right? The research. What is research? Research means re plus search. Re plus then re plus search for new knowledge. Research means search for new knowledge or fact finding information. Research means fact finding information or re plus search fact finding information. So wherever the researcher or wish to do any research always start from where? Very good. So the first and foremost we want to start with the research problem. What do you mean by research problem? It may be earth-shaking, it may be a small issue, it may be anything related to industry, anything related to economy, anything related to science, anything related to social science or any other manner. Assume that I am going to choose one HR problem, right? Human resource is my problem. See, HR practices how it affect organizational performance. My dear friends, my problem I have chosen how the HR practices applied in the organization is affecting a organization performance or not necessarily an organization performance. You can choose job satisfaction. You can choose job performance. Or you may go for company performance. Instead of organization performance, you can also choose a topic called company performance. It is up to you. But research, we start with the problem. Many organizations is adopting HR practices. That HR practices, how it is affect to organization performance. Whether organization is improving because of HR practices or not. So HR practices may be many, maybe like related to audit, maybe related to policy, maybe related to vision, mission, organization, vision, mission, right? Maybe related to training, maybe related to performance, etc., etc. So HR practices, how it affect or how it improve organization performance is my research problem, right? So we have chosen the research problem. What is the next step? What is the next stage of the researcher? What we want to do? We want to go for review of literature. Second important step is we have to collect the review of literature or literature review. Review of literature or literature review, where the researcher is to be collecting the data from the different sources which may be available in the newspaper, journal, magazines, company records, websites, etc. What we are going to collect? See, we are collecting the data on HR practices. There are sources may like example, I will come with the scholar.google.com. This is a free search engine where you may find a lot of information related these HR practices or ordinary Google search. Okay? Or maybe nowadays we are all adopting the techniques like artificial intelligence or AI techniques. There are so many AI softwares are available, especially to find out the review of literature. So from the Chat GPT, there are so many other softwares are available for academic writing, AI softwares. But we can apply scholar.google.com, or even our institution is subscribing that EBSCO host. We have subscribed the database called EBSCO host, where you may collect the data related to the HR practices. Indian context, what the people are thinking about, then abroad, throughout the world, other international status, how other organization performance is affecting, we are going to learn from the review of literature. Why we are collecting the data on review of literature, anybody? To find out the research gap. To find out the research gap. To find out the research gap, the researcher is wishing to collect the data from the different sources, different scholarly articles, right? See, the research gap means it is nothing but it is a difference between the problem you have chosen and the information you are gathered. Okay? The difference between the problem you have narrated and the information you have identified from the sources of review of literature, that is called as research gap. Say, assume that so many researchers have proven HR practices, how it is improve organization performance, or so many research have done HR practices, how it is improve on job satisfaction. But very small research or very less number of research is available how HR audit practices, how HR audit practices and its impact to job performance. From this review of literature, I came to know that so many researchers in India as well as abroad, they have chosen HR practices, how it is affect on organization performance, how it is affect on job satisfaction, how it is affect on job performance, and etc. etc. But very few research is available HR audit practices. How HR audit practices, because of there is a compulsion, we need to take an education institution, we are applying an audit, ISO audit system, IQSC audit system. Because of that, we are able to teach very good to the students, and students' performance will also increase. Similarly, if organization is conducting an audit practices, then it is ultimately impact on the individual job performance. Job performance means individual job performance. So that is called as a research gap. So research gap is a difference between the research problem we have chosen and the review of literature we have identified. So what is the next step? Any idea? Research? Aptitude? No, before research objective.
Summary.
Not research summary. We have to finalize the research, tentative research topic. Tentative research topic. So tentative research topic is like that. The research gap is a statement, right? And we have decided that a study or an, whatever may be, or the. You can use any word. It's not necessary an, the, and all. This modern world we are not using and, the, a study, preamble, investigation, empirical. These type of words are not at all required at this point. You can directly start with the HR audit practices. HR audit practices and its impact on job performance is my research. Tentative research topic we have chosen. My dear friends, please keep in your mind the research topics is a tentative research topic. It may be fixed or it may be you have to choose or alter till your abstract formation. Before the abstract formation or in take like a dissertation and all, we called as a synopsis submission. Till the synopsis submission, we can able to frame the topic very neatly and clearly. So topic is finalized. Tentative research topic is finalized. So what is it after tentative research topic? What we want to do? We have to write the research topic. Then we have to write objective is otherwise called as research objectives is otherwise called as research questions. Research questions and objectives. Research questions and objectives. So what is research question? How audit practices, how HR audit practices impact organization performance? How audit practices influences job? How audit practices affect or improving job performance, improving the nature of the business? These are all the questions. Questions to be studied. Research question, not research questionnaire. Questionnaire is different. Questions. I am talking about questions. Question is like a sentence format or the research objectives. So what would be the objectives? I can write like objectives may be like to study the HR audit practices and its impact on job performance. This is one objective. To study the HR audit practices and its impact on job performance is my first research objective. To find out the job performance, how it related with other independent variables. Okay, job performance is our dependent variable. The other audit practices are my independent variable. How it is related. Then, to assess the mediating effect. To assess the mediating effect on HR audit practices and job performance with the variable of job satisfaction. Job satisfaction. This is nothing but, see, this is HR audit practices. HR audit practices. This is independent variable. We have a variable called job satisfaction. This is mediating variable. And we have a variable called job performance. This is the dependent variable. If I am satisfied only, my performance will improve. Hope you understand. If I am satisfied because of the organizational policies, organization culture, organization practices, vision, mission, the leave benefits, monetary system, all will put together to improve my job satisfaction. Ultimately, this job satisfaction will improve my performance. So here, this is different variable, this is mediating variable, this is independent variable. So here, to assess the mediating effect, what is my objective? To assess the mediating effect of job satisfaction with the independent variable and the dependent variable. This is my third objectives. Like that you have to write at least 5 objectives, no primary, no secondary. All put together we have to write 5 objectives to finally to offer suggestions. To offer suggestion to improve the organizational performance. To suggest suitable measures for an organization for improving job performance or organization performance is my final objectives, right? So this after objectives of the study, after research question and objectives, what is the next step? What is the next step? What is the next step? We have formulated the objectives. Hypothesis formulation. Research hypothesis formulation. Why we want to formulate the hypothesis? Unless otherwise we are not formulation of the hypothesis is made, it is not required for any empirical research. No data is required to collect. No analysis can be made. Not at all required anything. That's what we have to collect the. We have to write the research hypothesis formulation. So what is research hypothesis formulation? See, I can tell you. The hypothesis is an assumption. Hypothesis is a tentative assumption. Okay. So here HR audited practices. So there is no significant. There is no significant difference between HR practices and job satisfaction. This is my hypothesis number 1. This is my hypothesis number 1. There is no significant difference between HR practices and job satisfaction. Job performance is hypothesis number 2. Like that, we are going to frame the hypothesis. Hypothesis is a statement. Hypothesis is a statement. So once hypothesis is over, so what we can do for next step? After hypothesis over, what is our next step? Research. Research framework. In the research framework, I tell you, my dear friends, first and foremost, we have to write the conceptual framework. Conceptual framework model. This is my independent variable. My independent variable. What are all my independent variables? Factors influencing HR audit practices. Factors influencing practices. Organizational factors. Organizational factors. Maybe industry related factors. HR policies. Culture, organization culture. Payroll system. Okay, like that, we have to identify 5 or 6 major factors which influence in HR audit practices. So how we can identify these factors? From the review of literature. From the review of literature only we came to identify these factors. What are all the research papers they have studied about organization culture, organization factor, payroll system, HR policies. Then after that, this is called an independent variable. Then my mediating variable would be job satisfaction, organizational commitment. I am using one more mediating variable called organization commitment. So not only these factors, right? So all put together can affect. This is mediating variable. Organizational factors, industry related factors, HR policies, culture, payroll, etc. etc. I have chosen only 6 factors. 6 factors including major factors which are affecting organizational HR audit practices. This will affect to the mediating variable of job satisfaction and the organizational commitment. Organizational commitment is nothing but the organization also want to invest certain money for the development of an employee, want to provide welfare facilities, want to provide career development to the employees. Then finally it will affect to, what is our topic? Job performance or organization performance? Job performance. This is my dependent variable. This is my dependent variable. Okay. So this is called as conceptual framework model. So based on the conceptual framework model, we supposed to be prepare research questionnaire. Research questionnaire we have to prepare. So based on the conceptual framework model, so we choose organizational factors. Under organizational factors, we have 5 to 8 statements. 5 to 8 statements which will provide 5-point scale answer. Highly satisfied, satisfied, neutral, dissatisfied, highly dissatisfied. Or highly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, highly disagree. So each and every factors the employees can be answered based on the 5-point scale. Our target respondent is employee whoever is working in the organization. Right? This is called as a research questionnaire. So this is one factor, organizational factor. Then industry factors, 8-9 statement. HR policies again 8 to 9 statement. Culture, organization culture, 7-8 statement. Payroll system, we have again 7 to 8 statements. Job satisfaction, organization commitment, then job performance. For all factor put together, so totally we have 5 plus 2 7 plus 1 8. 8 factors. Each factor consists of 8 to 9 statements. This is called your questionnaire, along with the demographical profile. Name, age, gender, educational qualification, experience, income, level of employee, middle level or low level or superior, whatever may be, these are all demographical profile. This is called as a research questionnaire. Okay? So research framework is over. With the research framework, we also go for research methodology. In the research methodology, first we go for research design. Research design. Research design are two: descriptive research design, analytical research design. There are so many research design, but I can tell you on with respect to social science quantitative research point of view. Descriptive means describe the characteristics of an individual or a group. If any researcher is using primary data collection for a marketing, human resource, we are using questionnaire is a method. These research are all fall under descriptive research design. If any researcher is applying a secondary data, if any researcher is applying the data which are already available, then that research is coming under analytical research design. Descriptive research design, analytical research design. This is research design. Then come to sampling design. Here sampling we have probability sampling, non-probability sampling techniques. Probability sampling technique, non-probability sampling technique. Probability means when the population is known. If you are known about the identification on the target population is known, we can apply probability. Systematic sampling, simple random sampling, stratified random sampling, all coming under probability sampling technique. Non-probability sampling technique when the population is unknown. Quota sampling, judgment sampling, convenience sampling, snowball sampling, etc. etc. Okay, this is called as non-probability sampling technique. But our research is considered, it is advisable to use the probability sampling technique because our research is focused on human resource. Like mostly you should know about the total number of employees working in the organization or industry. In such case, definitely we should apply probability sampling technique rather than non-probability sampling technique. Okay. So sampling design is over. Then after sampling design, data design. Primary data and secondary data. Primary data and secondary data. Okay. Then after primary data and secondary data, the next important step is data collection and entering the data. So we are collecting the data from different sources, primary and secondary. After collecting the data, we have to enter into the respective statistical softwares. Respected statistical softwares. Here only the editing, coding, transcribing, the different process are involved here. The data entry and data collection. In fact, here itself we are collecting the data collection on different method. We are using the questionnaire method for collection of data. We are using primary data questionnaire method is for collection of data from the employees. So that is data collection. Then data analysis. Here we have different statistical techniques, statistical methods, descriptive statistics, inferential statistics method are available. Then we have bivariate univariate, multivariate statistical techniques. Starting from the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, kurtosis, skewness. We also include correlation, regression, chi-square, ANOVA, t-test. Okay. Then another way, the parametric and non-parametric test. Non-parametric test. So, in statistics, in data analysis, we also keep in your mind descriptive inference statistics, bivariate, univariate statistics, bivariate, univariate or multivariate, because we apply the model which contains about dependent variable, mediating variable, independent variable. So, ultimately, we can apply multivariate data, then parametric and non-parametric types of data. We have plenty of opportunities are available. Based on the hypothesis formulation, we have to test and give the result. Then data analysis is over. Then writing, interpretation and inference. Writing, interpretation and inference. So here the researcher want to provide, based on the different tests, what we are going to conclude, what is our result, whether hypothesis is accepted or rejected. Whenever we use the word hypothesis, it is applicable to null hypothesis. We want to provide the answers based on the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis means there is no significance. Hypothesis accepted or rejected means it is null hypothesis accepted or rejected. We need not worry about alternative hypothesis. Then we have to write findings, suggestion, conclusion. Finding, suggestion and conclusion we should apply, we should write based on the research. Then after finding, suggestion, conclusion, the researcher also want to provide the information on policy implication, scope for future research, and finally limitations of the study. Limitations of the study. When we write the research paper, we also want to write the policy implications of the research, scope for further research, based on the research, any outcome for the upcoming researcher, whether we can improve our research, then limitations of the study. So if you done research properly on these followed steps, your research will become easy. Then finally, the research will end with the references. Always, when you use the references, we have to cite, for writing a research paper, we have to cite only the contents which are part of the body of research. So other than the source material, other than the other material, say apart from the whatever the information we are cited inside the content, it is not necessary to refer in academic paper. But when you are doing your research project, you have to mention both cited information and the material which can be applicable or referred material, that also can be cited maybe in the form of books, journal, website, newspaper, magazines, etc. But while you are writing a research paper for journal and paper presentation, only references should be included, and that references also to be cited inside the content or paper. That is very, very important. And references please follow APA format. APA format means American Psychological Association format. There are so many research citation formats are available, but in fact most of the journals are accepting APA style format. Okay, right?